Yeah, Tracy, this was not an easy day for the O'Connor family. It was 5 years in the making. Certainly, though, those 5 years have not been easy either. They do see this as somewhat of a relief. Those 75 years are essentially considered to be a life sentence. This was at the higher end of the sentencing range. Now the O'Connor family can close this chapter and move on together.
Jim loved his job and just went to work, and he was supposed to come home with me that day.
More than 5 years after Sergeant James O'Connor was killed in the line of duty, his family is closing a chapter with his killer sentenced to 75 years in prison.
We feel good that this part of it is finally over to an extent. You know, it's been a really hard day.
Hassan Elliott pleaded guilty to killing O'Connor, part of a SWAT team serving a warrant in March of 2020. Elliott pleaded guilty in an agreement that would give him 55 to 75 years in prison. Today, the judge handing down the highest amount after hearing from family and Elliott himself, who said, quote, "I do apologize," and referencing violence in the city, saying, quote, "To us, we're under this illusion that it's right."
Guys get up there and they say a lot, you know, and at the end of the day, he's trying to save his life. So I don't take much credence in the guy who killed 4 people, shot 9 people that we know of, and engaging and terrorizing our community for God knows how long.
Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel not buying Elliott's argument.
I came from the neighborhood. I ain't become a killer. And so, yeah, I know we have rough beginnings and we have rough middles and we have rough ends. I get all of that. And I understand that there's challenges out here. But that doesn't turn you into a mass murderer and shooting and killing people.
Today, officers showed up to support the family. Outside the courthouse, Jimmy O'Connor V, in a police uniform with his dad's badge number in black, carrying on his father's legacy.
I mean, this is the only job I've ever really wanted in my entire life. You know, I mean, my grandfather started it pretty much, and he was a cop in 1974. And then my dad took the same path, and I took the same path, and I never wanted to do anything else. And then when that happened, I only had maybe 3-4 years on the jobs, and I really did have like a hatred for this type of profession. Time did heal, and then I know that my dad would always want me to kind of get back to doing what I always loved.
O'Connor, his mom and sister living without the man taken from them, standing together on a tough day that closes a chapter.
We know what Jimmy would want from us, and he would want us to live a really good life and keep living life, not be sad, and I'm sure he's very happy that this is behind us now.
And this 75-year sentence was at the higher end of that range, but there were actually guidelines that would have put things even higher if that plea agreement had not been in place. The family, though, also wanted to avoid the possibility of appeals that could make all of this last even longer. There are also several co-defendants that are awaiting their own sentencing. Live at the federal courthouse, I'm Lauren Mayk, NBC 10 News.